at my best when
There we go.
when I'm at in fast motion. I'm good at making decisions at a fast pace. So I feel like if somebody punt that motherfucker to me and everybody trying to tackle me, oh yeah, you best to believe I'm
right
you're gonna
now.
have to work right now. You're gonna have to work to get me. You're gonna have to work to get me. That's just me. But obviously these young boys, they train different now.
Yeah.
If I can go back and we can have the same training systems that they have today, oh man, shit. 4-4 ain't nothing. I would have been
in over 20 years.
Right. I probably would have been to a low 4-3, 4-3-1, 4-2-9 if I could get the training that they got now.
Yeah.
But I did what I did, how I was. I just was an athlete.
I got a kid at Dunbar running a 4-3 right now that played for me. He had Dunbar in the senior year running a 4-3.
You see what I'm saying? Like 4-3 in high school. That's a pro.
Yeah, he fast.
He got a 4.2 GPA. Like he got it.
Dang.
That's good, man. That's good. Stay on his ass, man, and get him up out the city. Make sure he go to school and college.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get him out of.
Now all of the equipment is messed up with my mojo. So Majic, even if I gotta cut your segments down to 10 minutes and boom, 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 I will do that. However, we on the Dunbar part right now. So I wanted you to tell the people about the game. I want you to go through your high school career. However, I really need you to talk about the game where you scored, was it 5 or 6 touchdowns?
You didn't.
Yeah, so when I scored the 6 touchdowns, remember, Taz, I was locked up for 5 weeks when I did that charge my junior year, which was your senior year.
Yeah.
And that year from the time I entered Dunbar to the time I left Dunbar, that was the worst football team that we had on varsity.
Mm-hmm.
The team lost. They lost a lot of games that year. I think they went like 5-5 or something like that, or 5-6. That was the team. That was the worst team I feel like Dunbar had in that era.
Yeah, it was.
So I missed 5 games, and the whole time that I was locked up, which is still crazy, I'm still thinking about shit. What the football team doing? What the football team? Everybody that called me, what did Dunbar win this week? The Dunbar. I ain't worried about getting out of. Obviously, I'm worried about getting out of jail. But that's one of my first top 5 questions. Did Dunbar win this week?
Yeah.
How they lose? Like who scored the most touchdowns? Because that was my year, that junior year, that I was going to be the man on varsity that year.
Right.
Like people start realizing, like, all right, like Lord Durrell, like he gonna do something this year. That's when people like really, really believe in him. Like, all right, that little motherfucker, now it's his time for varsity. It's damn near he top 3 best players on the team.
Yeah.
Obviously in 1999, I still had players in front of me, Leonard Ferguson and all of them, but Leonard was gonna get me that rock.
Yeah.
That's one thing I knew that Leonard was going to do, so I was going to have a breakout year. So while I was in jail, that was always one of my top 5 questions. And then when I talked to my aunt and them, I stopped really wanting to talk to my aunt because she ain't know shit about football. So now I want to talk to Franco. Franco, who scored the touchdowns for Dunbar this week? You know what I'm saying? Like, auntie, it's boring talking to you. Like, I want to know what Dunbar did this week. So when I got out of jail, I promised everybody. I still remember my cousin. The first person when I got out of jail, the first person that I seen was my cousin Tony, who's working the owner of Noah Restaurant.
Okay.
I told him, he was like, "Yeah, man. He gave me my fresh cut. I walked from the jail because the jail near Dunbar. So I walked from the jail to his barbershop.
Okay.
Got a fresh cut, and while I was in the chair, he was like, "Yeah, man, Dunbar was shit this year. They did this and they did that. They could have used you this year." And I told him, I was like, "Don't worry."
That was the team I played on. It was though. Like,
yeah, that was.
Yeah. But go ahead.
It's a bad team that year. Yeah. So I told everybody, I said, you know what? I was locked up 5 weeks. I missed like 5 football games or 4 football games. I'm not sure. I think it was 5. So I said for every game that I missed while I was in jail, my first time stepping on a football field, I'm gonna score a touchdown for every time. So that was 5 touchdowns.
Mhm.
So I had 5 touchdowns. I could have had 10 touchdowns easy. They took
crazy.
me out the game, and I begged. They took me out the game. I didn't play. I played the fourth quarter. Only played for like 2-3 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I got back in the game because Coach Eaton wanted to give everybody an opportunity. I had 4 touchdowns. Shit, damn near first half.
Who was y'all playing?
Emerson.
Evans.
No. I'm sorry. I don't want to disrespect Emerson like that. It was Northwestern.
Northwestern.
Northwestern. So
like
yeah, so it was fourth quarter, and I'm mad as hell. Like, I just want to get that 5th touchdown. So I knew going to Coach Eaton yelled at me, like, boy, if you don't sit your ass down and get away from me,
yeah.
like we winning the game. You worrying about your stats. And it wasn't that I was worrying about my stats. It was a goal that I set for myself. After I got out of jail, obviously I had to go to Southern. And I said, all right, it's still when I get back on the football field, when I get back to Dunbar, like I'm going to get 5 touchdowns that first game. I had 4 touchdowns, like 3 minutes left. I went to Coach Badham and said, Coach Badham, listen, bro, please talk to Coach Eaton and just let me get back in the game and just throw me the ball or hand me the ball off one time.
Yeah.
I just need the ball one fucking time. So he put me in the game, and Coach Eaton put me on defense. I'm mad as shit. So it's like, how many times you gonna get a fumble or interception? Right. He didn't want me to play offense. That boy put me on defense, and they tried to throw a fly. Oh my God. I remember catching that interception.
Like a
took that bitch to the house.
Yeah.
As soon as I caught it, I'm like, oh yes. I remember. I took that bitch to the house, scored the last touchdown of the game.
Was that on the left side?
That was my 5th.
Was that on the left side?
On the left
I remember that joint. I remember that joint. You like going towards Orleans Street?
So I had
not Orleans Street.
Yep.
Going towards, you know what I'm saying? You going
the other way, near the Yep.
I remember that joint.
Yep. So I had the 5 touchdowns, and that made my 6th one to try to get the record. And then when I scored that 6th one, I ended up getting the record.
Now listen.
And I feel to this day, rest in peace, Coach Eaton. He didn't really want me to break the record. I felt like for some reason, man. I rest in peace, Coach Eaton. I just leave it there, man.
Cause your head when it got like this, you try to control you, but hey, man, nice is nice, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this before we move on. Why you ain't play? Do you ever think about like what if you'd have played college football? Like if you'd have took it, because you could have played.
Oh yeah, I had everybody in the nation trying to get me.
Right.
I had everybody in the nation. It was out of Florida State and Virginia Tech, because I still, had to connect with Richard Johnson and Benny. Okay. Y'all remember Benny that played there. So they went to Virginia Tech, and they was recruiting me too. Like we were the 3 players that they was recruiting from the city.
Okay.
So when you
Great, Joe.
Yeah, but that I can still talk about it, man. That shit dumb as shit that they keep the grades. Like when you get locked up as a minor, like your grades still going. Like you got to come home and make up the grades. That's just dumb.
Yeah, that is.
So that like going to jail, it dropped my grades. Because I had the grade point average because Coach Eaton ain't play that shit. If you ain't eligible, you ain't eligible if you don't have a 2.7 and up. That was just his rule. It ain't no 2.5 playing on a Coach Eaton team. Right. 2.5 and 2.5, that's all you needed.
Right.
But for him, it was like, no, we're not going to do what the minimum is. We're going to get higher than that. So his was 2.7. So I had the 2.7. I took the SAT and I did good. And that's when Florida State was like, okay, he got his grades and he got his SAT score.
We can get him in.
Yeah, we can get him in. And the person who helped me get my SAT score was Coach Smitty when I was at Southern.
Right.
So me and Melvin, we kind of got our SAT scores at the same time. I remember we took it at the same place.
Wow.
Melvin, the boy went Carolina, right? Melvin Scott.
Carolina, yep.
Wow. Yeah, you look good in the Florida State uniform. Man.
Oh man, yeah, I was ready, and they was gonna play me right away on special teams. I wasn't gonna play it right away on, offense and all that. But once you got a taste of me on special teams, y'all was gonna play me.
Right.
they wouldn't have had no choice to, and that was my mindset. Like, oh yeah, y'all bringing me as a special team. I come play your special team because at Dunbar. That's the crazy thing. At Dunbar, my offensive numbers were so good. And my defense, I made all defense all Metro. They didn't even put me on the offense. I was mad as shit. I'm like, why y'all didn't put me on the offensive team? All these damn touchdowns. But I had my defensive numbers were so good, and my defensive touchdown was so good. Lynn Satterfield was like, Magic, nobody did what you did on offense, but nobody did wasn't even close to what you did on defense. So I have to put you on the all defense. I'm like, all right, man, long as I make all Metro, because I didn't want to go to college to play defense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go to college to play offense. And I felt like him ranking me as all Metro, all city, all state on defense. Now college and
you was a DB.
And that's what Lim Satterfield said. He was like, you got to understand, but it was just something I didn't want to do.
I thought it was like a shot.
I could have did both. Yeah. So Florida State, they promised me that, when I had my recruiting visit and all that, they promised me like, hey, like, obviously we just won a national championship. So when you get in here, boy, you ain't playing. You think you good, but we got a bunch of bad motherfuckers here better than you, which I knew that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right. And then they was like, well, what we will do, because you so electrifying for the fans, because Florida State is about, they bringing players who gonna make the fans spend that money.
Right.
Yeah, so they was like, we're gonna put you on a punt return and kick return, and shit, that's what we want to make money off of. So I'm like, all right, cool, because I like kickoff return and punt return. Because if I catch the ball, I got the ball. Defense, how many times I'm gonna touch the ball on defense? Maybe once, one interception a game.
Hey.
I might happen to get a fumble recovery, but that shit don't happen often. But I was good at DB.
Right. Man.
As somebody recruit out of like what the ball.
The whole thing recorded. They got everything. They got everything. Now, Magic, it's up to you if you want to stay around, stay on the panel, because it might get a little hot and heavy. Like it ain't trying to be messy, but it might be a little hot and heavy. However,
yeah, I'm good, man. Shit.
You good?
It's 10:40. It's 10:47. I ain't got to be up the train to early in the morning. Shit. How many times I get to talk to my Baltimoreans?
Already. Now, God, I'm coming to you. You the football coach. How you feeling today? How was your day?
Good practice, man. Good practice. I got a 10-year-old team. I had them since they were 5. Been to Florida a couple times through the Nationals. We lost out in Florida a couple times. I'm planning on repeating, but I got a little extra piece added this year to my team that I feel as though that's getting me over the hump.
When you say a little added piece, right? Because we're gonna end up going back to that. You say a little added piece. Who the added piece you talking about? You talking about a player or you talking about a coach?
I'm talking about a coach.
Go ahead, talk to the people.
I got the GOAT out there. I got Coach Herb.
Oh.
I got Coach Herb out there.
The Godfather.
I got the Godfather.
That's enough said right there.
Yeah,
it's good.
I talked to him a couple times. He came out. He can't stay away. He just did semi-pro. He just won semi-pro down here in the spring with the Baltimore Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out. I go to him for advice and stuff like that, where I faltered. So he came out, and next thing you know, he hands-on. So he like the special advisor for the whole program, but he mostly worked with my team to help us. It's putting us over the hump because Coach Herb very detailed.
Mm-hmm.
He's the same, but he's a lot different than when he was younger. But he's still detailed, and he real strict on me because I played the game. He know me from Dunbar, and he'll get my ass, and that makes me better and makes my coaching staff better.
Okay.
Just by having that knowledge right there, he comes to my games. Just he be right there on the sideline with me. So it's just like it's an amazing feeling to have a guy that you looked up to, that coached so many guys throughout our city that made him great. To have that guy right there, but you could just turn to your right, like, Coach Herb, what you think? And he gonna just let you know where you right, where you wrong. And then like the kids, they so young, they don't really know. They don't even really know who Coach Herb is. We telling them, but they really don't know what they get, So they get a lot of knowledge, a lot of love from this man right
now. Now it's kind of good that you talking right now, because you speaking Pop Warner. I ain't gonna beat this upside the head, but we have to talk about it just a little bit. The shooting. What's his name? Khalid. I keep butchering his name. The quarterback from Denver, his brother.
Yeah, Team Khalid. They played for the Denver Broncos. He was a cornerback. That happened down in I think Dallas, Texas.
Right.
And from my understanding, what I got from it, the guy, rest in peace, the guy, I know him, but he was a youth football coach. And the sad part was, I think he got shot in front of his wife, his son, and his football team. And the kids was like 9 years old. So that's the same part, man. And it basically was over trash talk. These adults getting football, and the guy was known for talking trash. So it wasn't no harm, nothing that he never did before, from my understanding. I don't know the whole story, but the trash talking, I guess their team had won over the Talib Cleveland team, and some trash talking went. A scuffle went out, and Talib Cleveland's brother wound up pulling the pistol out, man, which is sad, in front of kids and women and children, and shot that man in front of his own child, in front of his football team, man. And I mean, things is getting out of hand. I can keep going if you want me to keep going on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And so it's like, I mean, like, I always tell people this, man. I say, here in Baltimore, like, and I traveled around, like, when COVID season happened, I had the luxury of going to like Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. We had a chance to travel and to see how football is the same and see how it's different. Now, down south, they take it real serious because, like, down in Georgia area, they main way out is really not basketball. It's some people, but they main way out is football.
Okay.
Definitely football in the South.
Them down south guys, they starting their kids at like 5 years old. Like with tackle, with 5 years old, they got equipment on at 5 years old coming up. They serious. So, yeah, and I think the parents over the years, like messing the game up where, some people, I guess they living through their kids, they living through their children. They had, it is people betting on the games. You got people coming to the game smoking weed, people selling drugs at the game. It's like it probably happened when we played, but it probably was done in the car in the parking lot. We didn't see it, how it's just blatantly open. And then you get the betting and people fussing and you get people fighting. Because it's not the first time we heard about a shooting at a game.
No.
We ain't really have no shootings at a game here. Like, not that I know of, but I know out of state it happens a lot, like Florida, Dallas, Georgia. Like, it happens because you got these guys, they come to the games and they betting money.
Big money too.
I mean, it's like a lot of bro.
I mean, what I have seen here was two coaching staffs fighting though in the middle of the field, and they both have kids. Like, they both got 8 and under. They had to call a game on some adult shit.
The adults mess it up, man. It's like, it's messing the game up. It's not that serious. I'm a nice guy. I'm older. I'm a nice guy. The sport gave me a lot, out of life. It helps me out. So I try to give back. So if a person don't like me or got an issue with me, I ain't beefing with nobody. I'm just going to train my kids. I want them to have fun. I want them to get to the next level. I want them to win. But some people, they got a different mentality where they bringing that street mentality to a youth game. Right. And, I'm talking or who he talking to, or I hit him in the mouth, or I want to fight the coach because the coach ain't giving my son the ball. Or it just be a whole bunch of variables where the parents just don't step back. Like when we played, you dropped your kid off at the field, you went about your business. You wasn't allowed on the field. You got parents at the practice, they walking on the field. It's okay to watch from the parking lot or watch your child at practice, but it's a lot different now. And I guess it's your mindset. The mindset of these people today is a lot different than it was when we came up.
Do you think some of them take it like this? If I pay my money, my kid better be XYZ, who do XYZ?
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Now the organization I'm with, I'm with Old Town. I'm down in the city this year, Old Town Gators. Our stuff, we free. So we don't have that problem. Like all that stuff free. New helmets, new equipment, new cleats. We give everything out. And that was one of the reasons that I went to Old Town, because it was about the kids. Okay. It wasn't about registration, because a lot of organizations about money too. You know, they charge $200-300 and stuff like that. And a lot of times the organizations don't give the kids proper helmets, proper shoulder pads, a lot of hand-me-down stuff. So our stuff is free. But some people do think like that. You know, I paid my money. I want Lil John to be a running back. But then that's the number one thing in every hood.
John ain't no running back.
Everybody want to be a running back or receiver. You know, you don't have nobody come.
Back or receiver.
Now, the thing that changed over the years from Pop Warner is unlimited leagues. With this new unlimited stuff, unlimited is more so like real football. You know, because back in the day, you had to weigh in. There's very few teams that got to weigh in. Nowadays, like mostly all the leagues is going to unlimited. So it's making you play real football. So you got your big guys. You might got a guy that can run the ball. There's no restrictions, but that unlimited thing changed the game a lot. But it's still them parents that come out there and they want their kid to play a specific position. I'm the type of coach where I want to put the kid in a proper position for him to be successful. By me playing the game, I got a good eye for the game. You know what I'm saying? I've been around for like 20-something years coaching. So I got a real good eye for the game, and I can evaluate talent. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't do that, but some people don't want to, you know, be honest. Right. You know, some people come, my son, a quarterback, he not a lineman. He this. You got linemen in the NFL that can throw a ball 70 yards. You go to an NFL game when they warming up, you'll see a lineman throwing 50, 60 yards like Lamar and them. That don't mean he'll quarterback though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that happens, but
your son ain't no quarterback.
Son ain't no quarterback, bro. It's the parents that really messed the game up now. Like I think soon they're gonna start governing. They tried to shut it down a couple years ago, and it's gonna be sad that they're gonna mess it up for the kids. They're gonna try to govern football a little more because they're trying to put legislation in now to try to govern football. You know, because they ain't want you to start playing tackle until you was like in 6th grade. They want to ban all youth football into like 6th grade.
Dang.
Wow.
That's what they were trying to do.
Crazy right there.
Yeah, so it wasn't no like how we play 7-9 and all that. Because they got rid of all that. Now it's 7U. It's like AAU basketball, 7U, 8U, 9, 10.
That shit fucked everything up, man.
Yeah, it ain't. But I mean, it was like that back in the day when somebody played 9-11. You played a team that had 11-year-olds. They had 11-year-olds and they had like 6, 7 older but lighter. So it really wasn't nobody on that team that was 9, 10, and 11. It was just like 11 and 12-year-olds.
You got some of these kids out here that's massive. I'd rather have older but lighter than a massive ass kids. You know what I'm saying? If he massive, you gotta like when we played.
Yeah.
If his ass was 11, you can play 9-11 or 11-13. If his ass was 11 and massive, he up 11-13. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
If you want to play 9-11, get all them cupcakes.
Right.
They messing it up, yo. They need to bring it back how it used to be because it wasn't broke. Now everybody fixing shit that ain't broke.
It is so far gone. It's so far gone now because it's like different nationals where they rank teams now. These kids are getting ranked.
Hey, man, all that, man. How you gonna rank these little ass kids?
That's the system. Like Majic said, they train these kids. They training these kids early, man, and they keeping an eye on them early. And they coming up. It was a little white guy named Kane Archer. He was like one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Little white guy like Tom Brady and them. Like Shorty was being looked at since he was like 6, 7 years old.
He got the bag too.
Like he got it. Like yeah, you can go Google Shorty, and Shorty got everything. But it's like the way they being trained and the training is getting different.
I like
talking about that.
I like it. You get that bag. You think about you can be a millionaire speaking out of high school.
I think it's too much too soon, yo.
What you say, man?
I said my nephew was Sky Clark, and he been ranked since middle school.
Wow.
And we just signed with Jay-Z, Rock Nation. Mm-hmm. And he just signed with them for $350K coming out of high school. Like he's a freshman in college and already got $350K. But they've been watching them. So it's messing it up. Yeah. And then some kids and some families are getting blessed because of that.
Right.
You know, so it's it's bad that they messing it up, but then it's also helping some people get out of poverty quicker than normal. But everybody ain't gonna make it.
I don't
think about it. Think about it. From 1990s.
I think it's a Wild West, but I like it though. I ain't even gonna hold you. I do. Like everybody getting paid. They need to hold up. It is out of control right now. The transfer portal, the money, you know what I'm saying? Like it is. But
that's the only thing I like is just the money part. But I like the money part because when I left junior college, I signed with LSU, but y'all know I did N1 street ball. When I was doing N1 street ball, N1 was sending me 10, 15 boxes a week of N1 shoes and clothes and stuff. So I was selling all that on campus. When I was the #1 point guard in JUCO, I was selling everything on campus. I ended up signing at LSU. And when I signed at LSU, I'm on campus at LSU. Within the first month and a half of me being on campus, they told me that I wasn't going to be eligible the first year of school because I violated too many NCAA violations because N1 was giving me flights to come playing games, sending me free stuff. Like, nigga, I'm from poverty. Like, anybody offer me money, I'm taking it. Like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts. I need that money. I don't care if it's $100. Like, I'm not using this $100 or $200 or $500 to sell drugs. I'm using this to eat and live happy because I grew up not living like this. Right. So N1, I appreciate N1 for either, giving me the opportunity to do that and putting money in my pocket, but it also fucked up me playing at LSU, and LSU went to the Final Four that year. I would have been on the Final Four with Big Baby and Tyrus Thomas and, and all of them. I was on that. I was a starting point guard that year for that team. But they told me, no, you're not going to be eligible. You can stay at the school, but you got to sit out. And I'm like, I just won, point guard of the year in JUCO. I got NBA teams looking at me. So everybody want to know why I didn't go back to playing football because like shit just started happening so quick. And then I had the second, third best quarterback taking care of me, Dorsey. So my money was great. I was living like I was in the league. So I didn't really care about school because I already had Jacob the Jeweler watches and diamond earrings, flying first class, N1 paying me under the table, sending me free stuff. I had a CLS 500 Benz my freshman year in college. That life was great. Right. And then it messed me up. But now they get to do all of this for these kids and they can get away with it. So somebody like me, because I knew that it hurt me going to play at LSU, making it to the Final Four, and probably would have potentially been a first round pick. Just me being a point guard on that team that had Big Baby in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how it would have turned out, but it would have helped me even more. Now I got to go to the G League and work my way and grind and stuff like that, But I like that they paying these kids money now. Like, some people who don't like it, but because I was in that situation and me taking money from Dante Culpepper agent and stuff like that, and from N1, Mike Jarvis, St. John, I don't want to put his name out there, but he's not coaching no more. He was sending me nice checks, me and my aunt. Like, we was eating. And I didn't even, all I did is verbally commit to St.
Like
John.
Mike Jarvis. He's a good coach.
Mike Jarvis is a real one, bro. He's a real one. He took care of me and my aunt just off of verbal commitment.
He coached nothing.
Yeah. He loved Baltimore. He loved Baltimore.
He went to St. John's.
Yeah, he loved Baltimore guards. So Nut, Boosie Thornton, Mo Hatton. I was that Baltimore kid that he fell in love with, coming out of JUCO, being the #1 JUCO point guard in the nation. And when I verbally committed, I only committed because growing up, Mo Hatton, I was under him. Like shit, he was a legend to us. We looked up to him. We looked up the Nut. We looked up the Boosie Thornton, because I was a younger player. So all that shit, man, them college coaches, hey, this kid from Baltimore, he don't have no money. He don't have no shoes. Just send him a box of Jordans, because St. John was sponsored by Jordan. Give the kid, some Jordans. Like, what is that hurting? Giving me a pair of Jordans ain't hurting nothing. I ain't doing it but playing basketball in them. Right. But now these kids get to get this type of treatment. That's a blessing, man. Like me watching how Sky Clark is getting took care of. I want y'all to look out for him, man. Like he's getting took care of good. Like I said, we got a grow house in California and we eating real good off of that, and all of that is because of him. And he was only a senior at Mount Verb, but the family eating because you know he's him. He's gonna be him.
Right.
He's gonna be him. Just trust me, he's him.
Now,